May it please your leadership, the Honorable Chief Justice, and distinguished members of the Supreme Court. My name is Njomo. I do appear for the third petitioner, who was originally petition number 2 before in the consolidated petition. Your leadership, I'll make a brief comment on the report of scrutiny, and I'll focus on the scrutiny that happened at the floor of the House, and my learned friend Njoki Mboshe will focus on the scrutiny at the IEBC offices at Anniversary Towers. Your leadership, we have looked at the report as a result of the scrutiny, and we have isolated some few issues that will urge the court to consider in perusing the report. And one of the notable issues, and I concur with what my learned friend Mr. Awele has observed, is that we came across in a process that I personally participated in what learned Judge Justice Njoki has observed, that it is a process that took more than 24 hours. We came across ballot boxes that did not have original or carbon copies of Form 34As. Your leadership, the effect of that is that the authenticity of the forms appearing in the public portal is then called to question. There are ballot boxes, for instance, I'll give the Mikindani Primary School, polling station number 8 of 9, the report is appearing at page 81, where it is clearly observed that it did not have the Form 34A. We also have another polling station, that is Chepkulung Primary School, 3 of 3, that did not have the Form 34A in the box. So that then the question arises, where is the source, or what is the authenticity of the Form 34A that is displayed in the portal? Because there's nothing to compare with as required by the regulation. Another notable issue that we came across, your leadership, is that there were ballot boxes that did not have seals matching what is recorded in the polling station diary. My lady, what happens is that at the close of polling, one is required to record the seals that are then affixed on the ballot boxes when they are closed. So that the record of the ballot seals as appearing in the polling station diary, when they don't match what is actually presented to the court at the point of scrutiny, that raises eyebrows. Because it happened in one primary school, you note your leadership from the report. At page 53, Majengo Primary School, it's observed that in the report that all the serial numbers had been altered. The effect of this, your leadership, is that we cannot then be sure at what point is the ballot box opened, so that those seals that were affixed at the close of the polling were changed. Alteration of seals is a serious breach of the regulations that govern elections. Your leadership, another observation we made on the broken seals is with respect to Keheo Primary School in a constituency called Ojorok in Nyandarua County. What the report by the registrar of this Supreme Court notes is that the aperture, this is where the ballot paper is slotted in, putting in the box, had a seal that had been replaced. The seal that was noted at the close of polling and the seal number on the aperture at the point of scrutiny had been altered. This is noted, Your Lordship, my lady, at page 146 of that report that is before the court. The third issue that we also noted is as regards Book 2 of 2. My lady, the Chief Justice and distinguished judges, Book 2 of 2 needs to be put in context. That the IEBC printed Book 1 and Book 2 of Form 34As. When that was discovered, the IBC indicated that Book 2 of 2 will not be used for purposes of reporting presidential elections. But then the assurance that the IEBC gave was that that Book 2 of 2 will be deposited in the ballot boxes and it will not be utilized. Unfortunately, at the point of scrutiny, there were 27 polling stations from the 45, or rather 47 that were to be scrutinized that did not have book 2 of 2. The question then that begs our minds is, where did the book 2s of 2 go? Were they used to report results, presidential elections, or where did they vanish to? Because the factual position is that those book 2 of 2s were missing in at least 27 of the polling stations that went through scrutiny in the process that we undertook. My lady, another issue, and honorable judges, that we came across is that there were missing counterfoils from the ballot boxes. The requirement under the regulations is that when a ballot is slit from the main booklet, then at least a counterfoil will remain. The purpose of scrutiny will then serve some purpose if you compare the counterfoils against the number of votes that were cast, including the rejected votes. But, my lady, the Chief Justice and judges of the Supreme Court, without the counterfoil being present that you can compare with, then a question then arises as to whether those who are actually the ballots appearing in the ballot boxes were torn from the booklet, because there's nothing to compare with. Counterfoils were missing, my lady, and honorable judges, from Keheo Primary School. This is noted at page 146 of the report, from Keheo Primary School, polling station number 2 of 2. My lady, there were myriad of issues that we came across. In addition to that, with the scrutiny, envelopes, electoral material, these include the ballots that have been cast, the counterfoils that have been used, the register in the polling station, all those electoral materials that the regulations require that they should be deposited in the ballot box in tamper-proof envelopes. But unfortunately, what we came across was that there were very many polling stations from the ones that we undertook scrutiny where all the contents, the electoral material, were not placed in tamper-proof envelopes. And just to give an example of a few, we had Mvita Primary School in Mombasa, that this is noted at page 34 of the report. Polling station, also Mvita Primary School polling station 7 of 7, there were 7 polling stations. That happened also in Mikindani Primary School, polling station number 7 of 9. This is noted at page 80 of the report. We have Chepkutung Primary School, polling station number 1 of 3. We have Kapsusel Primary School, polling station 1 of 3. That you find in the ballot box, the materials are there, but they are not placed in tamper-proof envelopes as required by the law. Your Leadership, we look at those anomalies in line with the provisions of the Elections General Regulations of 2017, and specifically regulation number 81, that require this electoral material to be placed in tamper-proof envelopes and then sealed in a ballot box. When that happens, it is a clear breach of the regulations as required. And then these anomalies, again, it is my humble submissions that they also speak to the requirements on the Article 86D of the Constitution. And, my lady, this is clear because it requires electoral system to be accountable and even requires the IEBC to preserve electoral material in a safe manner. When this has not been done, Your Leadership and honorable judges of the Supreme Court, we submit that that is a clear breach of the Constitution, and no accountability can then arise in the event where such issues have arisen. Your lady, my lady, having spent my minutes on the issue of scrutiny at Forodha, I'll now hand over the floor to my learned friend, Joachim Bosche, to comment on the scrutiny of the technology process. Thank you very much and I appreciate it. Thank you.